Hi, my name is Fiona and I'm one of the founders of GreenSteps. Today I'll be taking you through some composting methods that I've tried that have worked for my lifestyle based on where I live, whether it was a landed property or a high-rise building, and the number of people in my household, which determines how much of food waste my household produces. To begin successfully composting and even recycling your food waste, the first thing you need to do is have a very simple waste separation system at home that even the youngest member of your family can follow. The idea is to make it really easy so that everyone knows where the food waste goes, where the mixed trash goes, and where the recyclables go. Some of the methods of composting that I've tried include taking small amounts of food waste, putting it in a pot, putting some soil in that pot, and then planting a plant. I also tried digging holes in my garden to compost my food waste. Fast forward to today, in my household of 3, we have a bin for mixed trash, which goes to the landfill. We have a bin for recyclables, and our food waste gets thrown directly into the garden. The composting method that I've chosen is a sheet composting technique, which mimics the natural soil building layer in forests. I simply lay cardboard down in my garden and then I put my food waste underneath it. I chose the sheet composting method for a few reasons. The first is because my garden was overrun with weeds, so to suppress the growth of those weeds, I layered it with cardboard boxes to deprive them of sunlight. And this has worked for about 90% of my garden. The second reason why I wanted to use the sheet composting method and cardboard boxes specifically was because I wanted to attract worms into my garden. And my soil is hard clay soil, so if you have hard clay soil, you can do the same thing as well. You can put sheets of cardboard boxes on your soil and put some food waste underneath, or even cut grass underneath to attract worms into your garden. And if you have hard clay soil, this helps aerate the soil as the worms move through the soil and come into your garden. What was initially more important to me than converting my food waste into compost was to set up a simple waste separation system at home that anyone in the family could follow. That was my first green step towards positive behavior change. When you separate your trash, you automatically become more conscious about how much you're producing, and naturally you'll look for ways to reduce the amount of waste that you have in your house. You'll also learn to value things very differently, like the water you use to wash rice or boil potatoes and pasta. You can use that directly in your garden instead of letting it go to waste down the drain. In my case, never would I have imagined that I'd get excited about the fact that worms love to eat cardboard boxes. Yes, I started valuing cardboard boxes in a whole new light once I found out that I could apply it in my garden for a multitude of different reasons, from composting to attracting worms into my garden to blocking out the weeds that were growing in my garden. Of course, the challenge was in getting resources like the cardboard boxes for my garden. So it took me a few months, but I managed to collect some cardboard boxes from my neighbors and the shops nearby. And that slow process allowed me to experiment with a small section of my garden first to see if the method worked for me, and before that I executed it into my whole garden. Everything I've done up till today has made me a more conscious person about how I live in this world and my impact on the environment. And that's the reason why we founded GreenSteps, because it's about you and me taking one green step at a time towards a healthier, cleaner planet. And it's okay if it's not perfect at first. It's about you and me making a conscious effort to live in harmony with our environment. When you turn food waste into compost or black gold for your garden, what you're doing is reducing your carbon footprint by not sending your food waste to a landfill where it'll sit there and rot and release methane, which is a potent greenhouse gas. What you will be doing is enriching the soil in your garden, and if you're growing food, that's more nutrient-dense food for you. A fun and rewarding reason to compost your food waste, of course, is to earn green points. And with these green points, you can redeem them at participating GreenSteps merchants, or you can contribute them back where we will be able to develop more green programs. So I hope you start living a little bit more consciously and start experimenting with different ways of composting your food waste and find one that works for you.